Iron Oaks. John Rayhans here. Welcome to another session with Java with John. I have a very special guest with me today, Larry Williams. Larry, thanks for being with me today. And Larry is with Waste Connections, who disposes of your rubbish here in the community. And I've been getting lots of calls about what's going on with their trash and whatnot. So I took advantage of our friendship and relationship to invite you down here and bring us up to speed as to what's going on with Waste Connections.
Absolutely. Thanks, John. Appreciate the invite. So my goal here today is to talk a little bit of trash. So Waste Connections, kind of give you a little brief history about our company, maybe something you don't know about. So in 2007, right-of-way disposal was developed by two gentlemen in Apache Junction, and basically they bought a truck. These guys were in their 20s, and they ran this business out of the cab of their truck. They did all their HR, all their sales, all their communication, all their payroll, accounting. Everything was ran out of this truck. They basically pulled a couple accounts out of Gold Canyon, kind of grew the business a little bit, and finally got one HOA, which was about 250 households, and they finally got the business out of the truck, put it in an office, hired a receptionist, and really from there the company exploded. Fast forward 15 years later, we're the third largest hauler trash company in Arizona. We have a service in Tucson and Phoenix, a landfill between the two markets. We have the only recycling facility that's in Pinal County. So all the recycling that comes out of this community goes to our facility. We separate it. And so that's pretty much about rad. In 2018, we sold to Waste Connections of Arizona, which is Waste Connections. It's the third largest trash company in the country. They're publicly traded. It's a great company, and they haven't lost the philosophy of customer service, making sure that we do the best job possible for the best price, and it's just a great company.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that history. What a great success story. I'm glad you're part of that as well. Now, I got to tell you, Larry, working with you has been terrific. A couple of things you've been very helpful to our community and our homeowners is, one, the service pickup has been great. You've been very flexible in helping us establish those dates. And also your rates were impeccable. I know we just entered into a long-term agreement with you.
We did. So part of that relationship, and it's been a very long relationship. I started in this community in 2010 with a company, as everybody knows, which was Sun Lakes Disposal. And in 2010, Jim Flight, who was the owner of that company, came to me and he said, "Hey, I want to get into recycling into Sun Lakes." And so working with a company called United Fibers out of Chandler, we developed the recycling in Sun Lakes. We launched it. I'm one of the guys that brought recycling to Sun Lakes.
Awesome.
And from there, yeah, it's been a good run.
That's great.
So regarding rates, yeah, so the relationship, we have been fostering this relationship for many years, and the goal is to make sure that we keep our rates very reasonable. The last thing I want to do is have super high rates and then have to explain to the homeowners why we're at this point. And ironically, Sun Lakes is very dear to me. I have family here, and I live only 4 miles from here on Alma School in Queen Creek. So I always fear that I might be somewhere in one of these restaurants and somebody might come up to me and talk to me about why are these rates so high. So I avoid that. I just try to keep the rates and make sure that you guys are getting the best possible deal.
That's awesome. We appreciate that. Now, one of the things, as you can imagine, that I'm always asked here, because our homeowners, first of all, as you know, Larry, are great. I mean, if there's a blood drive, they line up and participate. If we need donations for a specific group, they line up and donate. And now they're asking about recycling. And we've got a couple products here. I'm always asked, "Hey, John, what do we recycle and what don't we and why?"
No, absolutely. So recycling is a lot of the recycling that comes out of Sun Lakes actually goes to United Fibers in Chandler. United Fibers is a company that manufactures a closed loop product, and that is 100% recyclable newsprint is turned into cellulose insulation. So when you go home and you see that white fluffy stuff that's up in the attic, that's 85% newspaper. That's an insulating product that is created by newspaper here in the community. So basically, the newspaper that you read today could be in someone's home as insulation within 2 months. It's an amazing story. So let's talk about some of the things that are recyclable and some of the things that are not recyclable. So if you hold up your hand, you can count the 5 things that you can recycle, and that's plastic, newspaper, cardboard, tin, and did I say plastic? Plastic. So those are the 5 things, and what I mean by tin, also aluminum. So those are the items that go into your recycling container, and those are the ones that we market. We market our materials here regionally. So a lot like your aluminum cans, we'll send to Anheuser-Busch in Texas, and they'll make it into more beer cans. Plastic, we send to Nogales. It is shredded in Nogales and then extruded into tablets, and that goes back into California for manufacturing. Paper, we send to Chandler for cellulose. Cardboard is repulped in Riverside. And a lot of the tin that is, it goes up to Stockton, California, and it's made into steel products. I know that there's, so let's take a look at some of the things that are not recyclable. A lot of people think that styrofoam is recyclable. Sadly, it's a petroleum-based product, and it isn't something that is recyclable, even though that does have the recyclable emblem on it. It is so hard to recycle this material and find somebody who's able to recycle it. It's basically 95% air, and it's one of those things that it's is not recyclable. I have a thing that I like to teach, and that's pre-cycling. Pre-cycling is buying products that are in materials that are recyclable. So instead of styrofoam, maybe cardboard, or the lined cardboard boxes that people put their foods in and whatnot, like you at Whole Foods that you can get. So styrofoam is one of those things that we do not recycle, and a lot of this comes in shipping containers like you get from Amazon. You want to make sure you take the styrofoam out of the boxes when you do recycle your box, your cardboard box, because that is recyclable, and throw the styrofoam into the trash. Glass is, by the way, this is actually a nice, perfect mixture, right?
Yeah, that's a good combination.
Yeah, I kind of like it. So glass is something that we do not recycle. It is a very dirty process, and the amount of distance that it needs to go, the amount of electricity to be, because glass is, you can only recycle if it's separated by color. And so you have to green, brown, clear. And so that takes a lot of energy to pull that glass and separate it, and then shipping it somewhere, because there's nobody who makes glass containers here in Arizona, so it has to go great distances. So the carbon footprint left behind with carbon monoxide exhausted and whatnot, transporting this material is very dirty. And glass, you know what it's made out of?
No, I do not.
Sand, ash, and that's in abundance. We live here in Arizona. We got plenty of sand, right?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
So this is something that is, and glass is also, it takes a lot more energy to melt glass than it does sand in some of the virgin products that make glass. So that's one of the reasons why we don't recycle glass. There are ways of recycling it, and that's putting like an extra container out, but that's something that comes at a cost. And really, again, it's a very time-consuming, very, like I said, the carbon footprint's not very good. So cardboard is very recyclable. It's probably the #1 commodity that we market the most, that we bring in, we clean, we bale, and then we ship it to a number of different places in California. But people think that the pizza box is recyclable, and it is, but when you get oil and whatnot from your pizza, and a lot of that food is left over, This part of it is not recycled. So what we would like to do is take the lid, which isn't dirty, recycle that and throw that away.
That's good to know. I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Learn something new every day about recycling, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Larry, this is just the information our homeowners wanted, and it's very helpful to them, and I appreciate all that you do for our community. And thank you for the wonderful relationship that we have, and look forward to working with you in years to come. Before I sign off, I got a couple things I'd like to share with our homeowners. We are busy this time of year. It's January. Hard to believe we just blew through January, but brand new year. Tea sheets are awfully busy, so make sure you make your tea times at least 2 weeks in advance. The dining room, Stone and Barrel, is very, very busy. If you want a seat, don't forget to make a reservation and make it well in advance when you can. Also, don't forget, when you're going to the pool, pickleball courts or tennis courts, please bring your homeowner ID, because we have our court and pool monitors who are checking to make sure our homeowners are using and accessing those facilities. A couple fun things coming up. Rod Stewart and Tina Turner are here next Wednesday, and oh my gosh, I think there's only a handful of tickets left, so don't delay. Get your tickets now, and don't forget about Summer of Love, another concert right around the corner, which should be a lot of fun. And Grill on the Green, we're getting this close to opening. We'll have more details for you shortly. Again, thanks for joining me on Java with John.